And we're back for the commentary of the second half as Bradford Park Avenue get us underway. As it is Bradford Park Avenue 2, Marine 1. After 2 late goals in the half for Bradford, give them the lead. After an excellent opening from Neil Kenji, the Mariners somehow start the second half behind as James Devine wins a free kick in the corner flag of our own half, which Bailey Passant will take.
So the commentary.
And Passant plays the ball forward towards Niall Cummins. Cummins flicks it on. And the ball is then headed back towards Owen Watkinson. Plays the ball forward towards Neil Kenji. Kenji looked to beat his man, but Staunton puts the ball out, and it'll be a throw-in for Marine, which Kyle Hayde will take. Halfway inside the Bradford half. And it's thrown into Kenji. Kenji back into Hayde. Hayde plays it back as Marine to David Raven, who's just came on. Who's came on a half time for James Barragan, as we expected. We expected James Barragan to go off after he was on a yellow card, and then after committing another foul, he was given his final warning. And Neil Young has made the correct decision in bringing him off for David Raven. And David Raven has slotted into the back, and Mark Howarth has pushed on. Oh no, in fact, James Devine has pushed on into the midfield with Mark Howarth and David Raven in defence. And Saltmer has the ball inside his hands, and he rolls it out to Staunton. Staunton looks to play it long towards Johnson, but now in midfield is Devine wins the header. And now Marriott switches the play to Haven. Haven brings the ball forward and plays it in to Rawson. Rawson looked to find Oddenston on the overlap, but he slightly overhits his pass, and it goes out for a Marine throw, which Kyle Hayde will take on the left hand side. And he throws it into Mark Howarth. Mark Howarth looks for his long diagonal ball once again, but the ball breaks to Owen Watkinson, who looks to find Neil Kenji, but the pass forward was slightly overhit, and that was an opportunity for Marine to get in behind, but Saltmer read the pass and managed to go and get the ball in front of Neil Kenji, and he rolls the ball out to Haven. Haven plays the ball forward to Rawson. Rawson now holding off Hayde, and the ball's played to Johnson. Now back to Marriott, and it's a battle in that midfield now for James Devine. And the ball now breaks for Bradford Park Avenue for Johnson. Johnson looked to find Richmond, but Hayde intercepts and plays the ball forward to Owen Watkinson. He then plays it back to Hayde, and his long ball deflects off Rawson and goes out for a Marine throw-in. Halfway in the Marine half. Which Kyle Hayde will take. And the ball breaks for Rawson on the right hand side. Rawson looks to beat Kyle Hayde. And Hayde does brilliantly well to block the cross, and the ball then bounces back off Rawson, and it'll go out for a Marine goal kick, which Bailey Passant will take. As we enter the 50th minute of the match, it's still currently Bradford Park Avenue 2, Marine 1. And Bailey Passant takes the goal kick towards Owen Watkinson. And Watkinson manages to flick the ball on, but it still goes out of play for a Bradford throw, which Oddenston will take. Oddenston into Rawson. Rawson flicks it on, but it goes to Kyle Hayde, who attempts to clear the ball, but mishits it, and it goes out for a throw-in on the right-hand side, which Oddenston will take. Throws in to the first goal scorer, Doherty. Doherty then looks to beat Stratolis, but Stratolis wins it, and Marine will look to counter-attack once again. Stratolis with the ball down the left-hand side, which Owen Watkinson managed to keep in, but the ball had already gone out of play and had curled back in. And it'll be a throw-in for Bradford Park Avenue in their own half. And it's another change for Marine as Owen Watkinson goes off and is replaced by Ryan Wignall.
Replacing number 7, Owen Watkinson, number 15, Ryan Wignall.
And now Raven plays the ball back to Passant. Passant plays the ball forward to Stratolis. Stratolis flicks it on. And now Niall Cummins battling inside the centre circle. And he plays it back to James Devine, who looks to play the ball over the top to Neil Kenji. The ball is shielded out by Gomes, and it's a throw-in the corner flag for Bradford Park Avenue, which Gomes will take. Gomes' throw-in is chested by Solomon Davies, and then the ball is cleared and finds James Devine, who chests the ball and plays it back to Mark Howarth. Howarth once again looks for that diagonal to Neil Kenji, which we see is very popular for Marine, and now Kenji looks to beat his man. But Gomes does brilliantly well. But his pass to Motley Henry is miscontrolled and it goes out for a Marine throw-in, which Solomon Davies will take. Solomon Davies into Wignall. Into James Devine, who looked to play the ball in behind for Neil Kenji, but his pass is overhit and goes out for a goal kick for Bradford Park Avenue, which Saltmer will take. And Saltmer's goal kicked forward. The header's won by David Lynch. Stratolis into Ryan Wignall. Wignall into Lynch. Lynch looked to play it back to Stratolis, but it was a poor pass, and then the ball breaks to James Devine, who once again tries that early pass, but once again it's overhit and goes straight into the arms of Saltmer. Saltmer's big kick goes all the way to David Raven. Raven into Solomon Davies. Now into James Devine. Devine tried to find Stratolis, but Niall Cummins does excellent to keep the ball in and play a ball back to Stratolis. Marine now seeing a lot of the ball. Stratolis waits for Solomon Davies on the overlap, but Motley Henry gets back and intercepts, and it'll be a Marine throw-in in the corner. But it's a positive last 5 minutes for Marine. We've been a dominant of the two sides, and it's a throw-in which Solomon Davies will take in the corner flag of the Bradford Park Avenue goal. It's throw-in to David Lynch. Lynch chests the ball, but it's shielded out brilliantly by Simon Richmond, and it'll be a goal kick to Bradford. If you've got any questions, just put them in the chat. as we now have played 10 minutes in the second half, and it still remains Bradford Park Avenue 2, Marine 1. And then on the halfway lines, Ryan Wignall into James Devine. Devine then goes back to Mark Howarth. Howarth into David Draven. As Marine look to build another attack from the back, and Mark Howarth driving the ball forward. Into Neil Kenji. Kenji's come short. Neil Kenji from distance. Neil Kenji's shot. It's saved, and now Cummins on the rebound. And he's put the ball over the top of the goal. It was a fantastic chance for the captain. After Kenji's shot from distance is parried by Saltmer. And Niall Cummins, who's usually clinical in the penalty area, puts the ball over the top of the crossbar and misses the chance to get Marine back on level terms. And he plays the ball forward. And Lynch does well to win a throw-in on the halfway line for Marine. And to answer the question, how many Marine fans are there? I'm unsure. I haven't been told the attendance at the minute. Of course, not many have travelled due to the game being rearranged. But my guess would be about 50 Marine fans. As the ball's thrown forward. And Marine have won a free kick on the left-hand side, which Stratless will take. Of course, we scored from a Stratless free kick against Widnes after he crossed the ball in. And once again, it looks like he'll do the same. Stratless heads towards the back post. And it's spilled once again by Saltmer. But he manages to get the ball. But he manages to catch the ball in the second opportunity. But it was very nervy from the Bradford Park Avenue goalkeeper, who didn't look comfortable coming to clean the ball. And his kick goes all the way forward to Rawson. But Rawson's touch is poor, and Hayde manages to intercept and play the ball back to Bailey Parsons. And Bailey Parsons' switch finds Neil Kenji. Kenji plays the ball back to David Draven. Into Solomon Davies. Solomon Davies now driving forward. Solomon Davies cross, but it's overhit and goes over the crossbar as he tried to find Niall Cummins in the box. But it goes out for the Bradford Park Avenue goal kick. With 58 minutes gone.
This evening's attendance is 237. That's 237. Thank you very much for all your support.
The attendance has been confirmed as 237 by the stadium announcer, which I'm sure would have been a lot more if the game had been played on Saturday, with many more Marine fans would have been travelling up for the game. And now Bradford Park Avenue have a throw-in, but the ball's intercepted from the throw-in by James Devine, and Stratless plays it to Kenji as Marine looks to counter-attack once again, and Kenji finds Solomon Davies on the overlap. Solomon Davies' cross is flicked on, and now at the back post, and it's in! It's a goal! Ryan Wignall puts Marine level. The ball was clawed out by Saltmer, but the referee's assistance flagged and the ball had gone over the line. And it's now Marine 2, Bradford Park Avenue 2. Ryan Wignall, the substitute, comes on and makes an instant impact.
And the goal scorer for Marine, number 15, Ryan Wignall.
It was a fantastic play by Josh Solomon Davies on the counter-attack. And now in the 60th minute, it's Bradford Park Avenue 2, Marine 2. And now Marine look to attack again. James Devine look to play the ball forward, but the Bradford captain haven't managed to intercept and get there just before Niall Cummins. And now Doherty into Johnson. Plays the ball into Motley Henry. Motley Henry cuts inside. Now he plays it back out wide to Doherty. Doherty into Johnson. Johnson in the corner flag, and Solomon Davies manages to block the cross, and the ball comes back off Johnson, and it's a Marine throw-in. But the Bradford fans and players disagree and think it should have been their throw-in. But it'll be a Marine throw-in in the corner flag of their own half, which Solomon Davies will take. He plays it to Niall Cummins. Niall Cummins flicks it onto Neil Kenji. And Lynch battling in the midfield, and the ball deflects off him after Richmond look to play the ball forward. And now Lynch once again battling inside the centre circle, and the ball deflects and goes out for a Marine throw-in. And Haid plays it to Howarth. Howarth looks to play the ball forward to Niall Cummins. Cummins' touch is intercepted by Staunton, and Staunton plays the ball over the top. But Raven does excellent to just chest the ball down to James Devine, who plays into Solomon Davies. Solomon Davies then back into James Devine. James Devine looks to switch the play to Ryan Wignall. Ryan Wignall controls and plays it into Kyle Haid. Kyle Haid now back into James Devine. Into Mark Howarth with a first time switch with a fantastic pass to Neil Kenji. And Neil Kenji cutting inside. Kenji shoots. And the ball's headed clear. And then back with the feet of Solomon Davies. Solomon Davies into Stratlas. Stratlas tries to find Neil Kenji, but it was intercepted. But Kenji does brilliant to win the ball back. And now Cummins has flicked, nearly finds Stratlas, who was running on. And now the counter attack looked to be on for Bradford Park Avenue for Ollie Johnson. But Howarth wins the ball. Howarth once again heads it, and the ball breaks for Doherty. Doherty with another poor touch, and James Devine intercepts. And now Kenji looks to get at Gomez once again. He looked to cut inside, but Marriott got back, and he doubled up on Neil Kenji. And Marriott wins the ball, and then is brought down by Kenji, and it'll be a free kick for Bradford Park Avenue, just outside their own penalty area, which Staunton will take. As we're in the 63rd minute of the match. It's Bradford Park Avenue 2, Marine 2. And Raven heads it to James Devine. Devine into Wignall. Wignall back to Mark Howarth. Howarth plays the ball forward towards Niall Cummins. Niall Cummins battling, and the ball is missed by the Bradford Park defender, but it ends up falling kindly for Doherty, who plays the ball back to Staunton, and Staunton looks to find Johnson, but it's overhit once again and will go into the hands of Bailey Passant. Marine, the better of the two sides in the second half, as he continues to dominate the ball, and Passant into Raven, and then into Howarth. Howarth now into James Devine in the centre circle all alone. He tries to switch the play to Neil Kenji, but it's intercepted once again. And the Bradford Park Avenue fans unhappy with their side's second half performance, as they've seemed to dropped off and let Marine dominate all the ball. And now at the halfway line's David Raven. David Raven looked to find Neil Kenji, but Staunton intercepts, and now Gomes looks to counter attack into Doherty. Doherty with a poor pass once again, trying to force, and now James Devine sends Neil Kenji, but Neil Kenji just can't get the ball under control, and it goes out for a throw-in. And it was a fantastic pass by Divine, but a miscontrol by Kenji, and the ball goes out for a throw-in in the corner flag, which Gomes will take. Gomes' throw-in is headed by James Devine, then by David Lynch, and now the ball breaks to Mark Howarth. Mark Howarth looked to find Lynch once again, but the ball was in an awkward position for him to control, and it ends up bouncing off him and goes to Bradford Park Avenue as they look to counter-attack now through Motley Henry. And it's now inside, and it's a chance for Rawson. But Bailey Passon comes out big and makes a good save, and it'll be a corner for Bradford Park Avenue in the 66th minute of the match. And it'll be Motley Henry to take the corner. And it's crossed in, and it's flicked out by Wignall, and the ball will fall to the Bradford captain, and he plays it in. Having into Johnson. Johnson looks to turn. Good feet by Johnson, and he's crossed the ball to the back post, and the ball's headed away. But the referee's assistant had flagged offside, as Henry had come back in after taking the corner. He looked to head the ball into the back of the net, but it was given offside, and Marine escape that attack. And Bailey Passon will take the free kick inside his own penalty area. He plays the ball forward towards Niall Cummins. Cummins manages to flick the ball on to Ryan Wignall. Ryan Wignall now using his body on the left hand side. He looks to get past Oddenston, but Oddenston with a fantastic sliding tackle, and the ball goes out for a throw in on the far side for Marine, which Kyle Hayde will take. Kyle Hayde into Niall Cummins. Cummins now back to Wignall. Into Hayde. Hayde's cross just goes over the head of Neil Kenji and is cleared. And Johnson now on the halfway line manages to get in front of Raven, and Bradford Park Avenue will look to counter attack. Richmond plays it back to Marriott. And now Rawson. Rawson fires Oddenston on the overlap. Oddenston with the early cross, which Johnson wins the header, but Bailey Passon saves it and picks the ball up, as it looked like the header deflected off David Raven and went straight into the hands of Bailey Passon, as the deflection took all the power out of the shot. And Passon plays the ball forward towards Niall Cummins. Niall Cummins looks to flick it on for Neil Kenji. It's cleared once again, and David Raven's now lost the ball, and it'll be another counter attack for Bradford Park Avenue on the right hand side with Luke Rawson. Rawson into Motley Henry. Inside to Richmond. Richmond now to Rawson. Rawson tries to find Doherty at the back post, but Solomon Davies read the cross and heads it out, and Kenji picks up the ball. Kenji into Solomon Davies. Then into Devine. Back into Kenji. And now David Lynch goes back to his goalkeeper in Bailey Passon. And a bit of a scrappy bit in the middle, but Bailey Passon's kick finds Ryan Wignall, and Ryan Wignall cuts inside. Wignall pulls the ball back to James Devine, and his effort deflects, and it almost goes out for a Marine corner, but Johnny Saltmer manages to get back and keep the ball in play. And the goalkeeper will look to roll the ball out to Staunton. And Doherty's lost the ball once again from Solomon Davies, but he's helped out by Marriott, the number 4. And he goes back to his defenders. as Bradford Park Avenue look to build an attack once again. And now Staunton. Staunton look to play the ball forward, as deflected off Neil Kenji. And Neil Kenji does brilliant. And the ball... And Kenji forces the mistake. And it'll be a throw in for Marine in the corner flag, which Josh Solomon Davies will take.
Can't hear with me, you know, Dion. Can't hear.
And it'll be a throw in that Solomon Davies will take.
Oh, you're on about Doherty.
Solomon Davies into Devine. Devine into Kenji. Now back into Devine. As he gets to the byline, he looks to pull the ball back. And it's deflected. It's deflected wide. And it'll be a Marine corner, which Ryan Stratulis will take. As Marine have been the better side in the second half. They've continued to dominate the ball. And they'll look to take the lead through this Stratulis corner. Stratulis crosses the ball in. Raven got in front of his man at the front post, but just couldn't get it, and it comes out to Ryan Wignall. Wignall into Devine. Out wide to Stratulis. Stratulis plays outside the football into Neil Kenji. He looked to play the ball back to Stratulis, but it deflects and goes back to Kenji, who looks to go to the byline. But he's intercepted by Gomes. And now Doherty will bring the ball forward as Bradford Park Avenue looks to counter-attack through Rawson. Rawson into Doherty. Plays it into Johnson. And Johnson, the ball looked like it fell perfect for Johnson. But the Marine defence make a fantastic... And now it's Motley Henry. Motley Henry cuts inside. His shot, it's saved by Billy Pleasant, and it's in. It's a goal for Bradford Park Avenue. As Motley Henry's effort, as he cuts inside, stings the hands of Bailey Passant, and on the rebound was Ollie Johnson to head the ball into the back of net and get his second of the match. And it's now Bradford Park Avenue 3, Marine 2.
And the goal scorer for Bradford Park Avenue, number 10, Ollie Johnson. And Ollie is sponsored by John and Russ. Thank you.
It's a disappointing goal for Marine to concede. As in the second half, they've been the better of the two sides. But the first chance that Bradford Park Avenue get of this half, they've taken through Ollie Johnson, and they now lead.
Replacing number 9, Brad Doherty. Number 12, Ryan Tolson.
And now Bradford make their first change in the match as Brad Doherty goes off. And now Gomes looks to cross the ball, and it's cleared to Ryan Wignall. Ryan Wignall is deemed to have fouled Richmond, and it'll be a free kick just inside the Marine half for Bradford Park Avenue. And with just over 15 minutes left of the match, Marine find themselves behind once again. Richmond into Rawson. Rawson's intercepted by Kyle Hayden. Now Wignall back to Mark Howarth, who looks for that diagonal once again, but this time he misses it. But Neil Kenji still manages to get to it, but he miscontrols, and it goes out for a Bradford throw-in on the halfway line. And the player that came on for Bradford Park Avenue was Ryan Tolson. And now they've taken the throw in quickly, and the ball is then switched to Luke Rawson on the right hand side, but is passed towards Ollie Johnson. Is overhit and goes to Bailey Passant, who plays the ball forward. A Marine win a throw in, which Kyle Hay takes. As he tried to find Niall Cummins, the captain, Luca Haven, headed the ball out, and it'll be another throw in, which Kyle Hay will take as he looks to use his long throw in. But this time he goes short into James Devine. Kyle Hay's cross, and the ball's cleared away by Rhys Staunton high into the air, but Kyle Hay manages to win the header and find Ryan Wignall on the left hand side. Wignall looks to cut inside. Looks to be Oddenston, but Oddenston does very well and wins the ball back, and his cleans finds Mark Howarth. Mark Howarth's cross looks to be met by Niall Cummins, but the Bradford goalkeeper wasn't happy with the challenge from Cummins and had a word with him after Cummins predicted that it was going to be dropped by the goalkeeper. And now a bit of time wasting from Saltmer as he continues to hold the ball and plays the ball forward to the right hand side towards Rawson. He lets the ball bounce and Mark Howarth heads the ball out, and it'll be a Bradford Park Avenue throw in halfway inside the Marine half, which Oddenston will take. And now Bradford Park Avenue seem to be doing a bit of time wasting since getting back the lead in this match, as they lead by 3-2. And Oddenston continues to waste time as he's claiming that the ball is flat, and then the ball is now swapped and he'll look to take the throw in into Rawson, back to Oddenston, into Ollie Johnson, back to Oddenston, who crosses the ball into the box, and the ball is met by the head of Motley Henry, but the number 7's header, and now Passant plays the ball forward to Kenji. Kenji comes back to David Raven. Now Mark Howarth looks to drive forward. Howarth with a powerful run into David Lynch. Now to Stratolis, now into Neil Kenji, but a poor touch from Kenji. But it's also a poor clearance. And now Marine had the ball once again with Kenji. Kenji claims to have been fouled, but the referee disagrees. And Bradford once again try to clear the ball, and it breaks to Mark Howarth. Howarth into Devine, into Raven. Now on the halfway line is James Devine. Devine plays it wide to Josh Solomon Davies. Back to Raven. Raven into Solomon Davies. James Devine. Marine now just waiting for that perfect pass to open up, and it looks like Mark Howarth will play the ball forward, and he does. It's to Kyle Hayde. Kyle Hayde plays the ball back to Neil Kenji. Kenji now looks to beat his man, and he does. He beats 2 men. Neil Kenji gets to the byline, looks to pull the ball back to Niall Cummins, and just before Niall Cummins could get a touch on the ball's cleared, and it goes out for a Marine throw-in, and looks like Marine are going to make their final change of the match. And it looks like David Lynch will go off, and he will be replaced by Ben Hughes. Hughes, who of course started the last match against Widnes in the league at right back. Looks now to go back into his more natural midfield. And Stratolis Stratus's cross is mishit, and the ball's cleared by Motley Henry towards Ollie Johnson. David Draven does brilliant to win the ball in front of Johnson, and now Solomon Davies into Howarth. Once again, Howarth does that switch, and with his first touch is Ben Hughes. Ben Hughes, who's certainly going to have to try and make an impact in this match. And his pass to Solomon Davies deflects and it's a throw in. And he goes back to David Draven. David Raven into Solomon Davies. Solomon Davies back to Raven. Raven's cross almost finds Niall Cummins, but it's flicked away by Haven, and it goes out for a throw in.
The substitute for Marine, replacing number 4, David Lynch. Number 17,
Hayde
Ben Hughes.
into Wignall. Back into Hayde. Now into Stratulis. Looks to beat his man, but he's slightly hit his pass, and he's fouled the captain of Bradford Park Avenue, and it'll be a free kick as we enter the final 10 minutes of the match. It's still Bradford Park Avenue 3, Marine 2 in this Buildbase FA Trophy second round tie. And Saltmore's goal kick is flicked on by Johnson, but it goes all the way out for a Marine goal kick. Passon plays the ball short to Mark Howarth. Howarth now drives forward. He plays it in to Niall Cummins, but Niall Cummins dummy gives the ball to Neil Kenji. Neil Kenji to Ben, plays the ball right across the face of goal, but Ben Hughes just couldn't get a touch on it. And Wignall's cross is then looked to have found Hughes. Now a miss hit from Oddenston, and Kenji looks across the ball back into the box, and it bounces back off Oddenston and goes out for a Marine corner. But now Bradford Park Avenue have got a player down inside their penalty area, who will currently receive some treatment. And it'll be a free kick that it'll be a corner kick, sorry, that Stratulis will take. And it's whipped in towards the back post once again towards Mark Howarth. Howarth couldn't get a clean header on it, and the ball's then cleared for Kyle Hayde, but his touch is a poor one, and it goes out for a throw in. And once again, a Bradford Park Avenue player is down, and it looks like he will receive some treatment. But it could be a bit of time wasting by the home side as they lead the match. As we enter the 83rd minute of the match. It's Oddenston who's down receiving treatment. It was as he went to clear the corner before. He looks to have pulled something, and it looks like he's going to be replaced.
The substitute for Bradford Park Avenue, replacing number 2, Lucas Dunstan. Number 15, Jordan Windass.
And it'll be Jordan Windass that comes on to replace him. And Marine have got the ball back now with Bailey Passant. Passant into Howarth. Howarth plays the ball to his centre-back partner, David Raven. Raven now back to Howarth, just on the halfway line. Howarth plays the ball forward to Niall Cummins. Niall Cummins chests the ball down, and the ball breaks for Kyle Hayde. He plays it back to Ryan Wignall. Wignall to James Devine, who looks to switch the play to Josh Solomon Davies, which he does. Solomon Davies into Ben Hughes. Ben Hughes tries to get to the byline, but it's a good tackle by Motley Henry, and it'll be a throw-in the corner flag, which Josh Solomon Davies will take, and he throws it in to Neil Kenji, who plays it back to Josh Solomon Davies. His cross, trying to find Kyle Hayde at the back, but it's a foul. He's fouled his man by pushing him in the back as Kyle Hayde, and it'll be a free kick inside the home side's penalty area. So we approach the final 5 minutes of the match. And it'll be a free kick, which Johnny Saltmer will take. Saltmer plays it to Rawson. Rawson's flick on his mip, but ends up to the feet of Mark Howard, who looks to switch the play to Ben Hughes. Ben Hughes flicks it on to Niall Cummins. Niall Cummins' header ends up at the feet of Neil Kenji, and the ball breaks kindly for Solomon Davies, but a fantastic tackle by Motley Henry. As Solomon Davies looked to get him behind, but it'll be a throw-in on the right-hand side, which Solomon Davies will take. Solomon Davies plays it back to David Draven. David Draven into Neil Kenji. Kenji back to Draven, who's carried on his run. David Draven, and he's dragged his shot just wide. It was fantastic play from Raven, the centre-back, who played the ball forward, carried on his run, played a 1-2 with Neil Kenji, and his effort goes just wide of Saltmer's right-hand side post. And that was the chance that could have got Marine level. And Saltmer takes the goal kick towards Ollie Johnson. But Howarth wins the header. And once again, Howarth wins the header, and it's flicked on by Stratulos. And a Wignall with a poor touch, and James Devine commits the foul on the halfway line, and it'll be a free kick for Bradford Park Avenue. As it remains Bradford Park Avenue 3, Marine 2. With just under 3 minutes plus stoppage time left in this match. Haid plays the ball down the line. But his left foot cleans, goes out, and it's a throw-in on the halfway line for Bradford Park Avenue, which the substitute Jordan Windass will take. Windass towards Johnson. But it's Haid who wins the header, and the ball is played back to Mark Howarth. Howarth plays the ball forward towards Niall Cummins, but he's beaten in the air, and it breaks for Johnson. But Howarth does brilliant and manages to deflect the ball back off Johnson, the goal scorer of 2 of Bradford Park Avenue, and it'll be a throw from Marine. It's played back to Bailey Passant, who switches to play to Solomon Davies. Solomon Davies, but it's a poor cross from the Marine right back after a fantastic switch of play from Bailey Passant, but it was a miss-hit from Marine's number 2, and it goes out for a goal kick, which Johnny Saltmer will take as he takes his time. And Johnny Saltmer now plays his goal kick up the pitch. And once again, Mark Howarth wins the header, but it goes out for a throw-in on the halfway line, which Jordan Windass will take. But once again, Bradford Park Avenue taking as much time as possible. And he throws the ball down the line towards Johnson, who battles well and keeps the ball in play in front of Wignall. But then the ball ends up going out, bouncing back off Johnson, and goes out for a Marine goal kick, which Bailey Passant will take. And he plays it short to David Raven. As we enter the final minute of the match, plus stoppage time. But Mark Howarth, as he looked to play the ball forward, a poor touch from the centre-back, who's had a fantastic game. And it goes out for a Bradford Park Avenue throw-in on the halfway line. as we now approach the 90th minute, and there will be 4 minutes added on. There'll be 4 minutes added on at the end of this game, as Marine need a goal, at least one, to take it to a penalty shootout, and it'll be a throw-in which Kyle Hayde will take inside the Marine half. He plays it to Mark Howarth. Mark Howarth to David Raven. David Raven now driving forward. So we're now into stoppage time. It's Bradford Park Avenue 3, Marine 2. And Mark Howarth on the halfway line plays the ball forward. But it's headed clear. And now Wignall picks up the second ball. Plays it into Kyle Hayde. And Kyle Hayde is fouled. That'll be a free kick for Marine. About 25 yards out on the left hand side. And I'm sure it'll be Ryan Stratulis, the Tranmere Rovers loanee, to take. And the Bradford Park Avenue defender receives a yellow card. And Stratulis to take the free kick. Stratulis whips it in. And the ball bounces to the back post to Ben Hughes. And Ben Hughes has scored! It's Marine 3, Bradford Park Avenue 3 in the 90th minute. Once again, one of Neil Young's substitutes has made an impact. And from Ryan Stratulis' free kick, Ben Hughes has tapped the ball into the back post.
Number 17, Ben Hughes.
And it's Bradford Park Avenue 3, Marine 3. Once again, Stratulis' free kicks causing danger, as it did against Widnes in our last match. But this time it was Ben Hughes. And in the 90th minute, it's 3-3. And as we know, in the previous 3 rounds of this tournament, Marine have won them all on penalties. And it's a throw-in for Solomon Davies. He tried to find Ben Hughes, but it's intercepted by Motley Henry. And now they'll drive forward with Rawson. Rawson tries to beat Hayde, but the ball is intercepted and goes out for a throw-in. As we approach the 94th minute of the match. Just the final minute of stoppage time, and it's a long throw-in. And the ball's flicked on by Kyle Hayde, and it'll be a corner in the last minute of the match for Bradford Park Avenue. And it'll be a corner for Bradford Park Avenue. And it's whipped in with the left foot, and it's headed away by Ryan Wignall. And Neil Kenji looks to get in front of his man, but just can't get there. And the ball's kept in. And on the right hand side, they come forward as Bradford Park Avenue. It's played in to the feet of Rawson. Rawson into Ollie Johnson. As he looks to pull the ball back, David Raven does fantastic to intercept and clears the ball out. As the referee looks at his watch, the game still continues with a throw-in on the halfway line for Bradford Park Avenue. And as the ball is thrown in, the referee then blows his final whistle. And once again, in the FA Trophy, we go to penalties. After a late goal by Ben Hughes, it takes us to penalties. And we're just going to take a quick break before the penalties, so make sure you don't leave us. As the game finishes, Bradford Park Avenue 3, Marine 3 in this FA Trophy second round match, and we'll go to penalties. Hello, and we're back for the coverage of the penalty shootout. After match finished, Bradford Park Avenue 3, Marine 3. And as we look at it, the penalties will be taken to our right hand side. And it looks like Marine will take first, with Stratulus. The Tranmere Rovers loanee will take the first penalty against Johnny Saltmer. Stratula steps up with a stutter in the run-up, and he's missed. It's saved by Johnny Saltmer. A poor penalty from the Tranmere Rovers loanee as he done a stutter in his run-up, and Saltmer gets right and saves the first penalty. And up first for Bradford Park Avenue is Luke Rawson against Bailey Passant. Rawson steps up and he scores. Passant went the same way. He guessed correctly, but it was a fantastic penalty, and Passant just couldn't tip it round the post. And next up for Marine is Mark Howarth. Mark Howarth will take. He steps up and he also misses. It's another poor penalty for Marine, and Saltmer guesses the correct way and saves again. And if Bradford Park Avenue score this, it will be 2-0 on the penalty shootout. And he steps up and he scores, and it's 2-0 in the penalty shootout for Bradford Park Avenue. And it was Ollie Johnson who scored 2 goals during the match, and he now scores from the penalty spot. And now David Raven will take Marine's third penalty, which he's got to score. David Raven, and he misses. He puts the ball over the top of the crossbar, and Marine have missed all 3 penalties. And if Isaac Marriott scores, the game will be over. And Isaac Marriott will take against Bailey Passant, and he scores, and that's the end of the match. And Bradford Park Avenue win the match on penalties, with it being 3-3 in the 90 minutes, and the penalty shootout ends Bradford Park Avenue 3, Marine 0, and Marine are knocked out of the Buildbase FA Trophy. And thanks for listening to today's coverage, and hopefully we'll see you for Saturday's match against Leek Town.